Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today, you're getting two videos because this one is celebrating Chrstine Harden, her 2000 subscriber hop. And so here I'm showing you what I'm going to be creating. This is a previous one that I have created. So every time I go to a crop that I take pictures of everybody that I was with, and some of them have had themes, things like that. So this one here was a camping theme, and so I just included all the pictures that we took over that weekend and create a little folio. And then here in a little bit, I'm going to show you what I keep them. Well, you can see them there that I've made these little totes. It was a cut file. I actually got the idea from, oh, let's see if I can remember her name. She works a lot with simple stories, and her name has slipped my mind. I will see if I can come up with it here. And so here you can see that I am creating the base for the new folio. So most of them have only had like a 1/4 inch gusset, but for this one that I decided that since I was going to try and include 20 photos for the 20 theme that Chrstine put forth in her requirement for this celebration hop, and so I knew I was going to have a lot of bulk in this folio, so I wanted to make sure I had enough room to include lots of flip outs and things like that, and that I had enough room to include all that. So here is the first one that I'm creating that basically the base of my folio is 5 inches wide, and I use pretty much the full 12-inch length, and sometimes trim it down if it's the smaller 1/4 inch version of the gusset to have room for the folio information with inside. So basically, if you grew up in the 80s and you had a trapper keeper, I'm basically making a mini trapper keeper. So keep that in mind. So here you can see this is where I'm planing out my first flip out. And when I make these, that I use the dot adhesive that can be pulled off, and I just use like a tiny little bit. So this helps me figure out where my pictures are going to be, and I don't lose track of my pictures while I'm moving all these flip flaps all around here. Um, so there's the first one that I'm going to put on that one fold that I have it sitting there. And so here's the second one that I'm creating. And some of these, okay, so my original thought that I was going to make one of those fold outs, and my pictures were vertical instead of horizontal. And so yeah, my math wasn't mathing that night. So here I'm making sure that it's gonna work, and it does, but my pictures won't work in it because unless I wanted to look at it sideways. So after I put this part all together, that I end up scrapping that idea and just making it like a multi fold in and out, so it'll be like a four pages that fold in and out. And this is part of the problem where, oh no, I'm still working on my prototype, and then here I think is where I realized that it's not gonna work. So I trim it off, and I'm gonna use part of that, and where I had that fold, that I will have stuff over the top of it, so it'll be fine that I had a crease in there. And so I make this one, and I build the little flap that'll go underneath or on the main part and still allow things to flip. And for some reason, when I put this tape on, I I don't know why I decided I needed to do it that way, but that fold is very thick and made it bulky, so I would not do that again. Here's where I'm looking at it like, oh, do I scrap this all together? And I had enough paper left over that I could have, but I just didn't. I don't know, I just made it work. and it works fine. So you'll see at the end where the only issue that I have when I get towards the end is that for once I actually thought ahead and put the magnets on ahead of time. However, my book got a little thicker than I had hoped, and so the magnet didn't fully hold it closed when it's done. So in the end, I did add a Velcro dot as well to help hold it shut. So some of this is going to start going pretty quick, that I did speed it up to a faster speed because it gets to a point where you're just watching me decorate the folio. And so I thought it still might be helpful for you to see all that process. But for the most part here, and none of my folios are exactly the same. It depends on the size of the pictures that I have, and how many pictures, how they, are they vertical, are they horizontal, things of that nature. So, and then it also depends on what kind of embellishments I have to decorate my folio as well. So this particular theme for this crop with my local scrapbook store, which is Memory Bound in Ankeny, Iowa. So they have a Facebook page. They do live videos all the time, every day at 9:30 Central Time. So go check them out. They do like craft alongs, and they show new product that they've received, and tours of the store. I have been on the video multiple times showing different projects, things like this, and just sharing all kinds of great creativity. So here you can see I just finished up the base part, and so now I'm showing you all the things that I'm going to pull from for my decorations. So the theme for this particular crop was Let's Go to Paris. So they always have a photo op out in the lobby area of the hotel, where we can go and take pictures with, various friends that you are meeting up with at the crop, or the employees that come out that we all get to know, as well as just others that you've met along the way. So the papers that I decided to use, that I had purchased a 6x6 paper pad, and it was by P13, and I think I still have the packaging. Let's see what the collection was. It's actually called Teenage Dream, and I think I got it earlier this year. Yeah, it's a 2025, and this is a brand from New Zealand. So I just thought the papers were kind of cool and matched the decor that they had on the backdrop there. So that's what I decided to go with. So here you see just kind of my general process of that. Once I get all my flaps created and know where all my pictures are going to go, then that's when I start picking out the papers for each section, and I just start working on them from there. So this is basically what you're going to watch me auditioning each paper pattern, and as well as stickers and things like that of what I'm going to include on each particular page. So that section that I'm working on right there, so you can see I have completed the front cover. That at each crop that we go to, they also give us a like a cut apart sheet with some images from the theme, so you can use that within your scrapbooking if you decide to document your crafty weekends. So the shopping bag and the Eiffel Tower, I fussy cut those from the sheet that they give us, and then I included a die cut of a flower from Vicky Boutin in the back to kind of help ground the whole thing. So here I was trying to piece together some things, but I did end up using a border sticker there on the end, and then one scrappy piece of paper there. And so now I'm getting started on some of the pictures where I know I wanted to have, I needed to have a photo mat on them because the pictures were busy as well as the pattern papers that I was using were also busy. So I decided I was going to mat my photos with white tissue paper, that it would give that separation between the photos and the pattern paper, but it was going to add very minimal bulk to this already bulky project. So as you could see, that it was actually a sheet of tissue paper, and it actually was papers that came in between transparency clear pages that I purchased. And so I guess I was technically reusing packaging. That I don't know if if the tissue paper was technically meant to be used, but it worked for this purpose of matting my photos and adding as little bulk as possible. So here I'm just adding a little decorative piece on the flap there. And here's where I realized that I probably have too many layers over the top of each of the magnets, that it was probably not going to work anymore. And so, yeah, that's where I eventually ended up deciding that I was probably going to need something else to help keep it attached. And here you can see that I'm using a lot of different collections. That I've got some older simple stories, sticker book from a collection several years ago, as well as the Crafty Babe that came out, I think, earlier this year. And yep, there's that I wasn't sure if I would ever use that Crafty Babe sticker, but of course you saw I had something else completely different on there, and decided that this was a good place to use that sticker there. So that's a picture of me, and I took a selfie there of everybody behind me, or at least half the room behind me that was crafting. So that pretty much wraps up everything. Here are close-up shots of all of the pages that I put together. And I did lose some footage of some of these, so my computer was giving me a glitch, but I did manage to recover enough of it to put this video together. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. There's a link for everybody playing along to celebrate Chrstine, so I want to congratulate her again. And I think that's pretty much going to do it. So thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Bye.